Good morning, 你好, 我叫大卫. That's about all the Mandarin I know. So I will be speaking in English, and Richard will be kind enough to follow me in Mandarin. 谢谢 for being here. My name is Dave Brenner. I'm from Intel Corporation. I've been involved with OCF for 2.5 years since the very beginning. And I currently am involved in 2 key capacities. I am the chair of the events group, and more importantly for today's conversation, I am also the chair of the Liaisons task group. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time this morning talking to you about our liaison work.
所以 Dave 在 OCF 2年半，事实上 OCF 开始之后，就是 Dave 进来了，然后他负责2个部分，一个是活动 event 全球的活动，那另外的话，他也在负责 liaison 的那一块的，那是 Dave 先要讲一下那个 liaison 的工作了。
As David McCall spoke to you earlier today, we would have a very easy job if all IoT ran on OCF. However, as we know, there are many installed devices running on many different kinds of technology and different standards. So it is very important for the OCF members to ensure that the work we do can interoperate and cooperate with these other standards and consortia.
万一每一个互联网的机器都是用以 OCF 的标准来做的话，就不会有什么样的问题了。可是当然说，事实就是完全不一样，有很多不同的，有用不同的标准。所以 OCF 的一个很重要的工作，就是说怎么跟大家去合作，怎么去配合，确保说未来那些有这个相容性。
In order to make sure that the work we do at OCF can be collaborative with the worldwide standards communities, we have created a liaisons task group, which is under our strategy working group that David McCall chairs. The objective of the liaison group includes the following 3 items. The first is to ensure that the work we do with respect to the specification, the data models, and the testing, interoperability, etc., will work with lots of different IoT vertical markets, whether it's smart home, automotive, personal health, industrial lighting, smart cities, and others, as well as in different geographies. So North America, China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, overall Asia, Europe, have many different standards. And we want to make sure that our specification work can be comparable and compatible with those various verticals.
所以 Dave 在强调说，要确保跟其他的标准的一些集团、其他的很多不同的企业、很多不同的行业，怎么去做那个标准化，怎么去做那个合作的关系，这就是他最大的任务在那边。
The second goal is to avoid building a better mousetrap, as we say in English. In other words, we don't want to repeat the good work and the good standards that are already out there today. And this includes established ecosystems from different industry components, such as the Wi-Fi Alliance or the Bluetooth SIG, EE-Bus, etc., as well as other consortia, such as 1M2M, and academia and governmental organizations such as CAITC or CISA.
代表强调说 OCF 的做法不是要重新去做已经被别人做的一些事情，比如说你看什么 Zigbee 那些东西已经做了很多工作，所以 OCF 的目标不是说要重新去做，是做的比较稍微好一点。它最大的目标是跟大家合作了，是比如说在中国的话，在 CESI、CIICT 那些架构怎么去一起合作，怎么去一起去定标准，让大家是为了这个方向要走的。
As a third goal, we want to ensure that we don't have any more industry fragmentation for IoT standards. There are already many standards, as you know, as well as de facto standards from various companies who have entered the IoT marketplace earlier. And we want to help to harmonize what already exists and bring those together without any more fragmentation. As an example, this is exactly the work that we've done to bring together the all-seen, all-joined community with the OCF community so that we can drive towards one common standard.
他说已经有这么多不同的标准，互联网的市场已经有这么大的什么分散化，所以 OCF 的目标是说怎么去在一起合作了。
And as a reference for the members here today, as well as for hopefully those of you who will be joining us at OCF, I am the chair, and the vice chair of the Liaisons group, who could not make it today, is Mick Conley. Mick works for Underwriter Labs. So the two of us work together to help cover the different liaisons for OCF.
所以Liaison Group 的董事他今天不能来，所以 Dave 就是代表他了。
This slide is constantly changing. We already have quite a number of liaisons in place, as you can see from the list here. And in fact, this list is changing even as of today. We have another half a dozen liaison agreement discussions underway with and others in the process.
事实上已经有300多个，差不多300个会员。那会员有某些一些不同的，那这个角色这是 non-profit 的那一块的，说比较正式性的一些会员嘛。那越来越多就是在参与了。那当然说 ，Dave 希望说更多的架构可以进来当会员。
And just to point out some of the different examples here, the companies that or organizations that we're working with touch a lot of different points in the ecosystem, from the radio technology itself, such as ULE, to the transport technology, such as Thread, with 6LoWPAN and IPv6, all the way to the cloud and carrier solutions, such as OneM2M, and then the web infrastructure with the work we're doing with W3C.
所以就是说很多不同的关于很多不同的科技，就是不管是做什么 wireless 的一些 technology， 或者说在网站的一些，就是都一起合作了。
As part of the extended ecosystem beyond the liaisons, we have academic and governmental agencies who are part of our overall extended community, including CAICT and CESI here in China. As you can also see, we have a very strong presence with the Korean research institutions and academia, as well as those in the United States and in Europe, such as IMEC.
所以 OCF 也蛮重视的，跟政府的机构去沟通而且合作了。所以中国他刚刚讲过是 CIICT 跟 CESI， 那其他比如说韩国也跟蛮多政府的架构合作了。
So a question for our group is, how do we create and why do we create liaisons? What is the process so that our task group and strategy team will go out and engage, initiate, and cooperate with the various organizations. So first and foremost, as you saw from the OCF structure, we have working groups and we have projects. Any of those can basically request a liaison and come to the liaison team to establish that. The opposite is also that an external organization, such as a standards development organization or consortium, can also come to OCF and request a liaison. So it works both outbound as well as coming in.
所以要合作的话，OCF 的立场说，一个是 OCF 会主动的去找伙伴，另外的话，伙伴也可以主动的来找 OCF， 是不是非常密切的一个过程嘛？
One of the things that we look for also in a liaison is that there should be a goal for the two organizations to work together. As an example of that, perhaps the goal will be to drive a single integrated data model between that organization and OCF. Another goal may be for interoperability testing, where a certain radio or transport technology may want to also ensure that OCF protocols work correctly on top of that radio.
是要合作的话，就是说最理想的情况就是说，OCF 希望说定一些很清楚、很具体的目标，所以就是说不是说反正就是开会而已啊，就是要定，比如说一个案子的一些 data model 那一类的，所以就是说具体的，要具体化的。
It's very important for a successful liaison that there is a leader or an advocate for both the OCF project side as well as the third-party side. And those two need to cooperate and collaborate to make sure that the goals are achieved.
合作就是双面性的。那 LCF 希望说每次是要有一个案子的话，就是说两边都有自己的领导，可以一起合作了。
Just as an example of that, here today, with the support of CAICT and CESI, we have this event to support the training and information work for OCF. So this is one example.
事实上，这个活动也是一个蛮好的例子，是说我们一起合作举办，不是 OCF 而已举办，就是跟 CSI 和 CICT 合作了。
So once we have that cooperation underway, we do have a basic agreement that we use, or we can use the OCF or the third party. And an important starting point also is to ensure that there are no intellectual property issues. As you heard this morning in a long discussion about IP, OCF wants to ensure that the IP is very open for the whole community. So any work we do with liaisons has to do the same thing.
这 IP 的情况，事实上也希望说很公开的。那当然说也要写一个同意书，就是要看怎么去越来越清楚的说，希望说不会有什么样的 IP 的问题了。
At that point, we complete an agreement. Both boards have to vote, and with a successful approval, the two organizations then start the work on that project or projects.
那同意书就是签完了之后，就可以开始去动这个案子。
This is a short list of examples of work that we're doing under the liaison agreements. We have many more that I can discuss with you offline. But for example, with ISO, IEC, JTC1, we actually have an agreement and cooperation with Working Group 11, and we're collaborating to help take the OCF specification as part of a common worldwide international interoperability standard.
所以这是有一些例子。那么第一个说 ISO JTC 1，就是说他们跟 WG 11就是合作，做一个全球性的一个相容性的一个标准。
The next two, EEBus and Continua Personal Healthcare Alliance, are working with OCF to drive common data models. In each of these cases, both Continua and EEBus already have data models in place, and we're working to take those data models and combine them into the data model database tool called OneIOTA. And this way we have one set of data models that works within both the OCF and EEBus communities and Continua communities as well.
是 OCF 跟 EEBus 还有 Continue 是合作做 data model， 希望说未来做一个共同的一个 data model。那这是跟 IOTA right？
OneIOTA.
OneIOTA 就是英文是叫做 OneIOTA。
The last example was announced about one and a half months ago. The Thread group has built or is building a standard that works on IEEE 15.4 radio and IPv6. So we have a project team within OCF that's working with Thread to ensure that our protocols and data models will work and interoperate on Thread-based networks.
是 Thread 的话，说 OCF 有专门有一个 team， 就是跟 Thread 合作去定那些标准。
A quick update on our task group activities. As I mentioned, I'm the new chair as of 3 weeks ago, along with Mick. So both he and I are quickly coming up to speed on all these activities. We presently have over 6 new liaisons that are in process, from discussions all the way to completion of agreements and moving forward. We're also going through a fairly long list of agreements that are already in place. If you saw earlier, the evolution of OCF from OIC through UPnP, now through AllSeen, brings a lot of other liaisons. And so we need to work through all those different agreements, all those different goals, and make sure that we have them operating under one set.
是 Dave 现在说，刚刚姐坐那个 chair 的位置，那他跟他的同事就是一起说有个新的案子开始在进行当中。那因为 AllSeen Alliance 也许会更多。
And that's all I have for you. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you, David.
谢谢。